How you doing, survivors? I'm the Gemini Prepper, and today we have the Soldier's Targe from Cold Steel. Ever thought about adding a shield to your prepper needs? Let's get into the video right now.
This is the Gemini Prepper.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad you can make it back. I decided to do something a little different. I'd rather speak to the camera and speak to all you out there for the 17 subscribers that I have at this moment in time. Let's start climbing up with our subscribers. I definitely want to, have some more people I can reach out to for other new preppers that are watching my channel. And for some of the old preppers, thank you for even watching my video. But really what I wanted to get into is something that I think I was watching something with the Urban Prepper and the Canadian Prepper. And I asked the Canadian Prepper about what he thought about shields and swords. And today we're going to be only dealing with shields, but I kind of want to go over what he said. He said it's something that isn't really talked about much, so I'm going to talk about it. So I've already done a previous video about sword and shields in a SHTF scenario, and I wanted to highlight this one. This is one that I bought from Amazon for around $50. It's about 4 pounds, 11 ounces, and the diameter is about 19 inches overall. So it's fairly big. It's going to be able to cover your body pretty well, and it's made out of polypropylene, so it's like a hard plastic. Now, if you see on the other side here, there's a nice little handle here. It's very slick, so you might want to bust out the old Wilson wrap and get this a little bit more grippy. But predominantly, this is used for it was a Scottish shield, I believe. I might be wrong. Some people might be killing me right now, but I believe it was an predominantly Scottish shield. I might have to do some history. I might have to probably edit this video because I might be wrong. But hey. But we're just here to talk about shields in general. So what would you want this for? What would you use this for, right? Well, it's simple. What are shields used for? Shields are used for blocking an attack. Shields are used to attack somebody with. Because it's made of that polypropylene, it's not very heavy, right? It's very light. Now, I have a wooden shield, similar to like a Viking shield, and that thing is way heavier than 4 pounds. And if you had to run around with that Viking shield on your back or in your hands will get tired. You'll probably eventually get tired with this too as well, but you could do some training so you could hold on to the shield. But why do I think it'd be a good idea to have a shield? Well, let's get into that right now. So you get yourself into a situation where you have somebody that has a knife, obviously not a gun, but we'll get into the knife or a machete or something like that. This is going to allow you to block those blows. Those will allow you to maybe move out and attack that person with the shield. Or if you have a firearm, you can block and shoot, or you could, stab back or do whatever, or punch somebody if you had to. You'd be able to use this as a defensive weapon, but you could also use it as an offensive weapon. It isn't the most comfortable thing to hit somebody with the shield like this, but in a scenario where you have to do what you have to do, you guys are going to improvise, right? And this is a great defensive weapon that can be turned into an offensive weapon. Now, maybe not all you guys out there are going to say, hey, I need a shield this big. They do sell something smaller around this, around like this size here. It's a little bit smaller. It's called a buckler. Kind of went over that in a different video, but it's not, this particular shield from Cold Steel is not bad. It's pretty big. I've already smashed it with a bat before this video, and it's got some scuff marks, but it doesn't look too bad. And why do I think this is something that you might want to add to your prepper needs? Or you just want a shield in general? Well, one thing, it's cool, right? Sometimes we buy stuff because it's cool, but two, this actually has a function. It is going to help you protect yourself. The only other thing that I would say that you might have to do in customizing, besides putting the Wilson wrap on here, is probably putting some foam here, because the way that this is made, it isn't made in such a way where you would be able to kind of have a strap here, so you'd have a little bit more balance on it. Because if it gets hit, you see how it moves so easily. So if you do get hit like that, it's going to end up coming down. So you might want to make this a little bit a little bit of foam inside of here, so if it does come down and hit you in the head, it's not so much of a hard blow to the skull. So, but even then, it wasn't designed to, well, this particular model wasn't designed to be held like that. It's actually designed to be held like this, to keep the people at a distance like that, right? So if you're being attacked, you can kind of move it around like this. Here, it's pretty steady. Trying to hold it like that, it kind of moves around. But if I'm like this, it's not moving around that much. I've got it. You can hit people like that. So again, as preppers, we have to be open-minded. As people that are looking for something cool, if you're not a prepper and you're on this channel, this thing is cool, right? But it does have a function, and that's why I always bring it back to prepping and the Gemini Prepper. So of course, I'm going to try to bring things to you guys and do some product reviews. Is it the best thing in the world? No. Is it light? Very light. Is it hard? Right? It's not very easy bendable. Yes, it's made well. But are there some things that I would have changed? Yes, I would have changed. I would have loved to have it kind of be like this instead of this thing in the middle here. A lot of bucklers are like this. For it being this size, I kind of wish that I could have two straps, kind of like Captain America. But for the price that I bought it for on Amazon, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, and it's definitely functional. You could definitely use it for home defense. If you just had somebody kind of break into your home and they maybe had, you know, a bat or they had a knife, I would rather have this than have nothing, to be honest. If I just had a baseball bat and I had this, I'd feel a little bit better because I could, you know, I could do some Spartan stuff with it. I could kind of block and hit over the shield to whoever I'm trying to attack. But again, this is a defensive weapon that can be turned into an offensive weapon. And that's the best thing you can have. It's something that you can use for offensive or defensive situations, depending on what situation you're in. And I wouldn't suggest trying to put this up and block a gunshot. If there is a firearm involved, get out of there, run out of there, do whatever you can. But yeah, it's something you can use for the time being. Some of you guys might say, hey, this is too big to carry around. And you might be 100% right. This might not be something you want to carry around in an SHTF situation. I would probably keep this at home for those situations if there was an intruder and there wasn't a firearm involved. But even having a firearm and this at the same time might be good. You never know. It just depends on what tool you use in that situation, how effective you're going to use that tool. So, you know, a lot of people think they're going to be John Wick in a situation when it arises. Your muscles and your body doesn't seem to operate the same way when you're in a stressful situation. So for those of you who've ever played paintball, for those of you who ever worked in armed security or who are bouncers or got themselves in a situation where they had to think fast and react fast, sometimes your body tends to not move as quickly as you want. So if you play paintball or airsoft, your finger, you kind of, you know, have that little stutter because you're not trained, right? You need to train yourself. You need to prepare yourself to be prepared at all times. You have to be tactical and technical, right? I say that on the other videos because it's true. You have to be prepared at all times, and you have to train yourself to be prepared at all times. And don't get lazy, people, because a lot of us get lazy and we don't want to be prepared and we think everything's okay. But I was saying this to some of my coworkers that you only have one life. And a lot of us think it's a video game and it's Call of Duty. And no, you only have one life. And being prepared is your cheat code. Making sure that if anything were to happen, you were prepared for that situation, or at least try to make it easier for you to survive in the game of life. Because again, life isn't a game. And for the real preppers out there, we take prepping seriously. And we want to make sure that we can help our families and help anybody else out there that's in the prepping community, because it's really what it's all about. Now, if you are thinking about prepping, I would say follow my channel, of course, right? Follow TJ Preps, the Angry Prepper, Canadian Prepper, the Urban Prepper, City Prepper, Pinball Preparedness, and Prepper Now and Prepper Nation. And also look up the freedomgathering.org and check that out and see if you want to sign up and help out the movement. But this is it on the Targe Cold Steel shield. They call it a Targe, the soldier's Targe. But till next time, my prepper people, I am the Gemini Prepper. And as always, be tactical, be technical, and always be prepared. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see. And hit that notification bell. Till next time.
This is Gemini Prepper.